Together we go further. Together we achieve more. Together we fly higher.
Welcome to the Water, Wands and Woo. My name is Katharina and I'm here with my soul sisters Jackie and Jade. 3 women, 3 voices, 1 magical flow. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Water, Wands and Woo. I am Jackie and I am coming to you today to talk all about the woo. What is woo? I'm going to break it down for you over the next 15 to 20 minutes. And we're going to take some of the mystery away from what has been labeled woo. You know, I'm part of a village, which you already know by now if you're listening, and we live our lives based on woo. So we're all thriving, we're abundant, we live in joy a lot of the time. And so obviously the woo works, there's a code to crack. And I just want to make sure that you feel drawn into that you sense by the end of this podcast episode that the woo is not something that is, segregated or just for special people. The woo is really just a terminology that refers to the unseen energy that really controls the entire cosmos. And, I was introduced to the woo through a health crisis. I had an autoimmune condition. And what was I going to do when none of the physical worked, when everything actually made it worse, when the doctors, when the naturopaths, when the supplementation and all the therapies weren't cutting it? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that too, but I just want to welcome you here again to the Village of Light podcast. The Water, Wands and Woo is a podcast born of light. Our village is obviously, as it says, a village of 9 women who are here on a mission to share more light in the world, to ignite whatever they need to in themselves and others that's going to help humanity rise up and rise up into these new dimensions that are awaiting us. Really understand our truest potential. And that this body is just a vessel to carry us through a really beautiful journey of remembering. So I'm going to take you through it today, and obviously you'll have beautiful Jade and Katarina introducing you to the other 2 aspects of our podcast, the water and the wands. Each are equally as important as the next, and you'll get to know why as you follow this podcast and join us in this incredible journey of life. So I'm going to come back to the piece where I talked about having an autoimmune condition. So I want you to feel close to me. I want to feel relatable to you. It wasn't always like this for me. It's been about 6 years since I was diagnosed with a genetic autoimmune condition. I had an MTHFR gene and pyrroles and plenty of things that are mainstream and talked about a lot now. And watch this space, because myself and another friend in the village are going to really break down the MTHFR stuff and what that means spiritually. It is not a burden. It is an absolute gift. And so, yeah, I got to this point. I'd had 1 child by then. My eldest is 9. And I really couldn't get up most days. I mean, I was critical. Like, I was allergic to my entire world. I couldn't leave my home, but I couldn't drive my car. And I was reacting to foods, chemicals, environments, people, Wi-Fi. It got so serious that I literally felt like I was just being shrunk every day. I was shrinking more and more. And to be honest, that's exactly what was happening. My energy field, which is the thing around you, it's been called an aura, it's been called many things. This is what keeps you alive and active. This is what keeps your cells buzzing and you functioning healthy. It's actually not this physical body, it's what's programming your physical body in the field around you. And once that shrinks, that is when we get disease, because we are effectively have no barrier. We have no buffer. There is nothing. And there's a bunch of reasons why that happens. But in my opinion, professionally and personally, it is always to do with the beliefs, the lineage, and the emotional trauma that has been stored, possibly for decades, for centuries, for millennial. It's just been passed along. And as it gets passed along, the belief systems, the programming, the trauma, it intensifies. It gets worse. You're just stacking things on top of the other and asking someone to run. And the world is asking that of us. And I was a runner. I wanted to be at the front. I wanted to have it all. And I've always wanted to have it all, but I certainly didn't have the knowledge and the tools I'm a big teacher of tools. That's what I do, is I teach mothers tools, how to be energetic leaders in their family. Without that, I really didn't know what to do. And so again, by the grace of God, source, universe, the path was handed to me. My daughter's talking to in an autoimmune condition that felt like the end of my life. And technicality, it was, because I had to rebuild an entirely new identity in order to come into the world of energy, to understand energetics, to change my subconscious belief systems that had led me to behave in ways that had burnt my body out. So people pleasing, plenty of that, lots of boundaryless choices. So much was given away, and never knowing when enough was enough, and really not feeling as though I could keep myself safe in the world because of all of those beliefs and that programming. So flash forward, I want to bring this into your reality now. I have fully healed. I am 41 and I've just got a baby that's now 4 months, my third child. I was told, you can't have children. Don't move forward like this. Your life's going to be different forever. It's genetic. You can't change it. I'm in the most vital health of my life, and that is mentally, emotionally, spiritually, body, in every single way. And I attribute this entirely to living the fundamentals of the woo. Okay, so as I teach in my programs, it is really about getting out ahead of it. Everybody is waiting for the physical reality to tell them what they're worthy of, or what their meaning is, or they're waiting to receive the information from the scene, right? Which is what you're looking at right now. I had to go ahead of that. I had to know that if I shifted the inside, that the outside would bring the things I wanted, which at that point was just a healthy body, a healthy mind, because I was suffering with CPTSD and anxiety, which I feel was a lifelong thing. And I knew at this point that I created my reality. Super, super hard to swallow when you are sick, a new mum, and wanted nothing more than to be a mother. And for a long time, I felt that it was robbed. I was robbed of that. And I was obviously coming from a victim state of being in that belief. I see it as the biggest gift life could ever have given me, and that the son that came to me was the perfect son for that moment. And the next one and the next one, it was always going to be the perfect divine plan for me and for everyone else, because I'm co-creating with them. It's not just me. And so flash forward, I want you to understand how accessible the woo is. It is literally just a bunch of belief systems that need changing in order for you to believe you're the creator and you're not a victim of life. That whatever you've currently manifested can be changed through processing, different emotions, through changing your subconscious and believing new beliefs about yourself, life, others, and the world. And so once I dove into this, I could really see how simple it was. We have complicated this as human beings, stepping into our physical reality and trying to change it and control it. That is such a complex way to live. Hence why my role here is to help change-driven mums get off the healing roller coaster and completely simplify their healing approach without adding more to their to-do list, right? Because at the end of the day, when you work with energy, it becomes everything. Your cells are energy. They're the starting point of everything. If you can change your cells and the energy of your cells, effectively it will domino, and you will change all aspects of life from the inside out. And this comes back to, we're going to talk about all this stuff over the episodes to come, but the Hermetic tradition, as above, so below. This was the Egyptian understanding. As above, so below, the mind, the body. As above, Father Sky, Mother Earth, so below. There is always two polarities. And I knew then that having a disease as serious as mine was, there were many times I was hospitalized and I wasn't sure what was going to happen, that the exact polar opposite was able to exist for me when I understood energy. If I was having this reality, then I could also have the opposite reality. Okay, but it was going to take some work. And this is why the Village of Light exists, darlings, is because we have 9 women with wisdom, tools, different processes, different journeys, but also one and the same here to support you wherever you are. If you're a mum, if you're not a mum, if you're a man listening to this, we know how to help. There is no limit to what energy can do in the world. And we are absolutely open and available to anyone who's ready to really step in. But that's the key. If you're going to step into the woo world, you can't unsee what you see. So you're going to see it. It's going to be very hard to go back. And so the disclaimer I want to put forward, which I wish someone had supported me to see, was there is going to be times you will need support. You will not be able to reach your most vital, incredible, highly higher self without having to face some really dark, hard moments. And we've all done it separately, and now we get to do it all together. We get to support each other with very similar tools. We're all trained in one specific modality, and we all have other tools that we utilize with each other constantly, every day, to up level, to upgrade. That's where really you're going to hear from Katerina around the waters that we drink. Holds frequency, holds memory. If you're not using your water right now to, uplift the frequency of your body, then you are missing out some massive, massive upgrades that the planet's receiving. We can bring that to you too. Just ask, just reach out to one of us, find the channels. But as far as the woo goes, it is really about understanding that there's going to be things that will fall away. When you start playing with energy, things change very quickly. And so the things that were safe and the people that were safe and the things that were keeping you small, they're going to have to be wobbled. They're going to shift around a bit. And so trying to do that without anyone supporting you is, I want to say, is super hard. And I know that because I walked that path. Hence, I created a coaching program. I created an entire community of women whom I support to do that. I also homeschool my children, and I have another community where I support women to do that because I know how incredibly important support is when you want to up level and you want to step into energy. And so the woo is purely just the unseen. So we're going to make it seen through changing our beliefs, right? Through releasing trapped emotions. We're going to go in understanding that emotions are just energy as well. And disease really only comes when the energetics of your body stall, when they get blocked and when they stop flowing. And what does that? Trauma does that. Trapped emotions do that. Belief systems that say, I can't have it all. I'm not worthy. Other people get that, but not me. These are the things that we work with when we work with the woo. So, how are you going to show up in daily life? How are you going to do it? Knowing that there is so many avenues to understand the woo even more and more. There are so many tools available to you to start working with the woo so that you can have the life that you dream of. And, I'll finish up shortly and just say, my job as a legacy mentor for mums is about working with their children too. Because when you heal and you heal these emotions and this energy, you heal forwards and backwards. You heal your entire lineage, your mother, her mother, your father, his father. You heal for them. They don't have to be here to feel that. Everything's energy. So even the people that have passed in your life, they still exist. They still exist in energy form. And then you get to witness the change where you become the line in the sand. You become the one who brought the woo into the world for your family. And you get to watch your children evolve and grow and just have the most magnificent experiences. And that is so healing in and of itself. And I have to say, I get that every day watching my child homeschool because I didn't have that. And I know how much it means to him that we're able to build this life around his needs and his wants. And I guarantee you, I could not and would not have ever done that had I not been playing with woo, had I not understood it the way I do. So come on board. I'm just checking if there's anything else. We're going to be bringing you personal stories. So you've heard a little bit of mine, which is my autoimmune. There is so much more than that. My gosh, I've just walked through a portal like 3 days ago on the 10th of the 10th as I record this. My daughter's got lots to say. She's 4 months old, so I've just birthed her. Everything in my life is just at this beautiful peak. And you're going to hear more about me, about all the women in the village in episodes to come. But always come back to this and ground and remember the key is getting out ahead of the manifestation, which means I must change my belief systems. I must understand the woo energy I can't see will change when I change from the inside out. That's pretty much the simplest way to explain it. So if you don't have a tool that you're using to shift your belief systems, to deal with your emotions and trauma, then you're probably struggling and it's probably feeling really hard to heal. Let us guide you. Let us hold your hand. Let this podcast episode be your indication, your saving grace that if I can do it, you can do it, because there is no difference between you and I. But I want to hold your hand through the commitment phase, because that's the part where many want to turn back. And if you're here for the light and you're here for the woo and you're here for all the things, you're going to keep going if we hold your hand. So reach out, follow us on socials, the Village of Light, and make sure that you listen to our episodes and you subscribe and you tell your friends, because the power of 9 is incredible compared to me being the power of 1. And we know that we have big, big work to do in this world, and we want to start with you. So thank you for listening to this incredible podcast and this episode with me. And I look forward to you listening again. I'll be back soon. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Fly to the sky, never mind the falling birds. Fly high into the clouds where your memories are stored. There are signs everywhere, just open your eyes. We've been on our way for way too long on our own.